Good morning, traders. Welcome to Beyond Profile. Today is Tuesday, September 13th, and we are in the midst of a pullback in the overnight session again in the markets. Let's start by looking at the ES market on the daily time frame. Last week we had noted we had somewhat of a higher low pivot forming in this market. Each time we come down, it comes in the fashion of a higher low, higher low. Here's Friday's. Yesterday we pierced through that. And if you remember yesterday in the room, we were saying if in fact we were to close below this break of this line, that we would have to get to the bearish side here, and more than likely looking for a break of the prior lows, which are 1100 to 1090s. These lows here did not close below that area. We actually closed at the highs of the day. By the time it was said and done, it was a very strong move into the close. And now this morning we're actually opening back down here somewhere. We actually had the lows of 30s, which again below this trend line area here again, or close to it I should say. So it's going to be an interesting day because of where we rallied last night, have come back down from those highs again. If this gets taken out, you can bet assured that we'll take this last pivot low out at 1092s. And even head probably even lower at that point. This is still a stage 3 on the daily time frame. We have balanced trade occurring. The balanced trade is actually contracting even more and more here. If you look at it, if you put a box around it and say, well, this is our fair value area that we've been trading in since August. Actually, back this up just a little bit more over to here. You would see that for the most part we would say that we're in a 100-point range, 1100s to 1200s. Market gets to unfair lows, it auctions back to unfair highs. Unfair highs comes back down to unfair lows. And right now it seems as though we are contracting a little bit tighter in here as these starts to look something like this. All right, you can see the histogram off on the right hand side. This is for the last 30 days of trade, and you can see where the volume is at and where the actual value area is at. You're talking 1187 down to 1121. So the market is in value for those last 30 days or so. Came down yesterday to that point of control from the month of August, but this composite here is the same place, 36s. So that's a significant level for us. Watch that number this week to see whether or not it goes out. If it starts to go out, it's going to really break this formation. It's going to break the balance area and will extend, like I said, out the other end of this in a momentum move. Yesterday, the VIX also was back up around 43 area as this market came down into these lows. Actually held the IB yesterday, the initial balance for the day in both markets. The S&P actually extended through it, but then it popped back up, and then we had the high probability that we would auction back to the IB high, in both markets accomplished that before the end of the day. So really, again, interesting day. A lot of volatility still in the marketplace. You have to be able to play the edge. Pick your battle zones, if you will, and play from those edges. Anything else really is dangerous because of the stop placement that needs to be put in the marketplace. A lot of the pivots are way so far away, 4 or 5 points. The HFTs are playing these areas, and you've got to be on your best game. Otherwise, you can get your head handed to you on a daily basis. So being able to trade at the extremes are very key here. You can see even this morning in the S&P here how it giving you a nice little bounce trade here long. The point of control dropped down from overnight down to this 41 area, and you can see once price action starts to trade above the point of control in the structure of this, it's suggestive that it can go back towards the value area high. See, because this is a market even in the overnight session. Remember, this 4 steps of market activity occur in all time frames. Look at what you've got going on. All right, you've got a market right now. It's trading between 39s and 48s, almost a 10-point range here. And what is it doing? It's auctioning between unfair lows and unfair highs. When it gets to the unfair highs, what happens? They sell it. What happens when it gets to the low? They've been buying it. It happened 1, 2, 3 times so far this morning, and really 4 times to the upside because we just came back to the unfair high again and they sold it. So whichever direction it breaks out of this smaller time frame balance area is the direction that you want to play it. Either back up to settlement area or to yesterday's lows. Because remember, we had some objectives of 23s and 26s to the downside for the markets to actually auction back down to. So The smaller time frame will always help lead you into the larger time frame and keep you on the right side of the trade. Remember, trade the edge of where the value area low or the value area high is. You're going to have a higher probability of making successful trades from there. When you're in the zone, if you will, of no man's land or 50-50 territory, you've got to be very careful because you don't want to get cut up and fed to the lions your first thing out the gate in the morning. So be careful today, as again, we could easily take this out. This could be a pro pivot failure yesterday. If we take it out, look out below because it will get ugly quick. All right, folks. We'll see you in the trading room. Have a good trading day.